Good evening, everyone. My name is Fran Brown, and I don't know if you noticed, when I went to stand up, I was a little stiff. And I thought, you know what? This may be an excellent time. Let me do just a little something to kind of, get the mojo going, get that blood a flowing. So if I could ask every one of you, if you would stand up, please. Go ahead. Stretch them out. That's it. Now, now, here's what I'd also like to ask you to do. If you would just put your hands together, start clapping. There you go. There you go. You got it. And then, Keystone, 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 Keystone. Now look to your right. Nod your head. Look to your left. Nod your head. Wasn't that wonderful? All right. All right. Hot Rod, did we get this on film? All right, so here's my secret. I told my best buddy that I was going to be giving a presentation this evening. And he said, really? And I said, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a very, very important event. He says, well, how do you think you're going to do? I says, Michael, I said, I bet you that before the end of my presentation, I will have received a standing ovation. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Thank you. Over the past few weeks, I've been joking with Jen, and Jen has been wonderful for me. And I shared with her, I said, there's three probably most common fears. One being taxes, the other being death, and the third, and especially for me, is public speaking. So I'm very grateful to be here. I cannot say enough. I cannot say enough. And tonight I'm here to conquer my fear of public speaking because I'm very humbled to be with you and have the honor with you all. Keystone means a great deal to me. And as Jennifer mentioned, how wonderful it's been for her and her family. Congratulations, Jen. I worked and supported myself all of my adult life until a few years ago when circumstances changed. After the Great Recession, I lost my job, and I had a series of other things, including a motorcycle accident, all of which set off my life in ways I could not have predicted. I have a very, very limited income, and food can be quite an enormous expense. About 3 years ago, I was looking for a place where I could get food and support. When I found out that Keystone Midway Food Shelf was nearby, I decided to stop by. The first time I visited, I was absolutely amazed. It was not easy to ask for help. And I was worried about visiting but I was treated with such dignity and respect. The staff and volunteers were so welcoming, kind, and helpful. And the food I received, it was a bounty of fresh, wonderful items. I walked out with so much fresh food, frozen food, and some items. And I just really enjoyed cooking and eating those items. I had visited the food shelf often until my car was stolen. And then it was more challenging for me to carry my items home on public transportation, especially with my back pain. During the pandemic, when I heard that Keystone had a delivery service, I called up and inquired as to whether or not I'd even be eligible for that program. I found out that I was eligible and have now been receiving a monthly food shelf delivery ever since. It has been a real blessing for me to get regular deliveries. The food comes right to my apartment, and honestly, I couldn't be more happy with the service that is provided. The people I've interacted with at Keystone, both the staff and the volunteers, and my buddy Paul. Paul, stand up. Stand up, please, please. Every month, the first Wednesday of the month, Paul brings me my groceries. And as is tradition in Minnesota, it takes us about 15 minutes to say hello, and as much as 45 minutes to say goodbye. The pandemic has really changed so much for everyone and accentuated more hardships for people. While people were hunkered down, I have to compliment Keystone for expanding their programs to offer this food delivery service and many other food programs. These programs mean people don't have to worry about getting food for themselves or their families. As valuable as I feel that Keystone is to me personally, I'm sure it's equally, if not more valuable to many, many other people in our community. There are times people are in situations that are not ones they anticipate. And to know that they can rely on Keystone, I know, I consider it a huge blessing. I applaud Keystone for everything they do for our community. They are an extremely valuable resource, and I am very grateful. Thank you. For letting me share what Keystone means to me, and I thank you all for everything. Thank you.